Today, I'm going to analyze what happens to your blood sugar when you do an all meat diet. This one's important. Welcome everyone to my ever-changing channel, which that's motivated by the ever-changing me. But let's get on into analyzing the blood sugar on a carnivore diet. It is very important that you guys go and get a glucometer or try a continuous glucose monitor. I want to tell you right now, continuous CGMs, the numbers are off, but the algorithm is not. So it can show you the peaks and valleys of what's happening to your blood sugar in the middle of the night when you don't blood prick test, but the numbers tend to be a bit off. There's new machines where they're going to also do a continuous ketone monitor. So I'm interested to see what happens with that if it's also the readings are off. The blood prick glucometer is more accurate. Then there are different brands now. The most notable brands are like the Keto Mojo or Floor or actually Precision Extra. But I have my clients use a glucometer because everything that irritates your body will present in your blood sugar. Now, sometimes you can just test your pulse, but it's not as accurate as that dang blood sugar. Blood sugar is always going to spike or drop when you're stressed out. People doing a carnivore diet, and of course, carnivore and ketogenic diets are the same. You should drive ketosis. When you don't try to have a ketotic body, you're dealing with a lot of problems with energy, blood sugar stabilization, and that really impacts your cycle, your sleep, your mind, your candida, all of these things. Candida will explode in the body. Even on a carnivore diet, you'll have a massive die-off if your blood sugar is running too high. Get a glucometer and test your blood sugar in the morning, fasted, on an empty stomach. That's a very objective number because you've just been sleeping. There's no activity. If your blood sugar is high, we know you did not sleep well. If your blood sugar is too low, we know you did not sleep well. You want to see numbers between a 75 and an 83 or a 4.3 to a 4.5 in millimoles. But that's not all. To be in ketosis, you also have to have a sweet spot for your ketones, which is a 1.8 to a 3.0. If your ketones are too high, they're swimming with nowhere to go, you're not using them. If they're too low, you're not making enough of them. And the blood sugar and the ketones must match. It doesn't matter that you make ketones or that you have a 3.0. If your blood sugar is in the 90s, you're not using those ketones. They're coming right out of you into your urine. People doing these carnivore diets don't understand that when your protein is too high and you've got poor digestion and low protease and low stomach acid, the body will take, and when you eat protein too fast, it'll take the excess protein that your body does not use for structure and convert it into glucose and store it as fat. Unless you're young and healthy and got a lot of GLUT4 receptor development. But most people are going to take that spike in glucose from protein and store it as fat. Look for blood sugar swings. Now, there's also this concept called the dawns phenomenon, or the early morning dawns. It is a dump of glucose from your liver, but people think that's normal. They're like, oh, well, you need that because you're waking up and you got to go. And I'm like, skirt, hold up, wait a minute. When that dawns phenomenon is, the theory's been wrapped around people eating carbs. When you drop out your carbs and you're trying to drive a ketotic body, you can't have the dawns phenomenon of high blood sugar because that's going to negate and push down your ketones, and you're not going to be in ketosis. And then over time, you don't look well and you don't feel well, but you might have lost water weight, muscle weight. Yeah. Understanding your blood sugar is everything. So you also test 2 hours after a meal. 1 hour is subjective, 2 is objective. You want to make sure that your blood sugar here after you eat something is matching your fasted morning wake up number. And it should be in a tight range within 5 points all day, with your ketones in range all day. Although you only test ketones in the morning on an empty stomach. I really want to present things that make your blood sugar too high or too low. Fasting, too much protein, not enough fat, not sleeping well. One night of crappy sleep can make you insulin resistant, and you're not going to lose weight that next day. Not if your insulin's not working. Poor sleep. Stress is that hidden thing in the air you can't see, and people do not understand that if you're stressed, most people think they're not. They are. The world today is freaking absolute poo-poo. Okay? It is upside down. It's clown world. Everyone has stress. And stress goes into the fight or flight of your adrenal system, hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal, and thyroid axis. Your blood sugar when you're in the fight or flight mode is going to be too high or too low. And don't get it twisted. When your blood sugar goes lower than a 75, it doesn't even matter if your ketones are presenting. When it continues to drop, you're hypoglycemic. You're in an adrenal response. And the funny thing is, if you're using a CGM, you'll see it rebound and jump back up once you have a bolus amount of insulin secreted when the blood sugar is dropped too low and you have broken glucagon and it's not getting back up to baseline, and people kind of crash in the afternoon. Testing your blood sugar 2 hours after a meal is also very important to see if you have postprandial or reactive hypoglycemia, that you're reacting to the foods you ate, because you can eat something that's fat and protein and have a boatload of insulin being secreted in. That protein sort of acts like a candy bar, and you have low blood sugar crashes on protein. Yes, it happens all day, every day. When your salt's too low, when your water is too low, this can make your blood sugar spike. When you're dehydrated, your blood pressure is low. And if you've got low blood pressure and you're doing a bunch of stuff, now the adrenals kick in because you don't have the stamina to make it through the day. So you feel tired at first, then after you keep fighting the tide, and then boom, you have this massive cortisol reaction, and now you can't sleep deep because now cortisol is coursing, like pumping through the veins. Understand your blood sugar. Test 10 minutes after a workout or 20 minutes. Test 10 minutes before you eat something that can be high histamine, and up to 2 hours later. Test 2 hours after a meal just to see what's going on. You could test in the middle of the night to see why you keep waking up, because 9 times out of 10, you're waking up in the middle of the night on carnivore because there's no more glycogen storage. Your blood sugar was destabilized the whole day. You were dysglycemic, hypoglycemic, and now you're starting to wake up in the middle of the night, like ding, ding. And it's not because you have to pee, because we have this powerful hormone called ADH, which blocks the sensation of urination. It's typically your blood sugar is bouncing and then ADH is low, and you wake up and notice you have to pee. I know. I hope this helps. Was sort of a quasi-made video. I have energy, I have mental energy, but I'm physically burnt out because you guys know I'm building my house. I'll show you like a little clip of it. I'm building a house on the cheapo. Yes. Not cheap built, but I'm finding ways to pay for all of this with doing a lot of the work myself. I know. I already did that with radiant floor heating. And then some other things like some of the interior design where you would hire someone. I'm doing it. Shower stall, cabinets, countertops. I'm doing it. I'm going to become the DIY fanatic, but this is sort of my happy place. Yeah, it has been a long work in progress to go from California to then Texas to absolutely having the worst experience of my life, then off to Tennessee. And I think if I had gone from California to Tennessee, I wouldn't like it. But because I was in Texas, I was like, anything is better. I know. Oh, I just did not like Texas. I will never be a Texas girl. Crazy. No Texas Hold'em here. Comment below. Are you using a glucometer? Are you testing your ketones, which should only be tested in the morning on an empty stomach? You can't test ketones later in the day. That's what you ate. Glucose you can. Ketones you cannot. Only fasted in the morning on an empty stomach. And you have to have energy with ketones. And don't use the urine strips. They don't work because if it turns purple, you're peeing out ketones. You don't want to do that. Comment below. You can also check me on my website, stephanieperson.com, or book a consultation. I also run a course, a monthly subscription. You can sign up there where I cover all 3 diets because y'all can't do carnivore or low carb or keto. Not one diet fits all. It just doesn't. So the fact that people keep pushing carnivore, it's amazing, it's a miracle. But if you've got low stomach acid, low protease, low lipase, junked up gallbladder, hypochlorhydria, a low GFR, you can't be doing a carnivore. The hair is falling out because you can't get into ketosis. So be very, very careful. That's why I like to cover all 3. Now, from now on, it's all 3, which is carbs, a little bit of vegetable and fat and protein, and then carnivore, strict carnivore, how to do it without jacking up your diamine oxidase and N-methyltransferase. But that's a whole nother video. And I'm out because I'm kind of tired and I need to take a shower because I've been shoveling gravel, filling in, what do they call it? Divots, and where the tractor tires sunk into the ground and create a big hole which collects water. I'm going to fill it with gravel before I actually pave the road on my new place. And I'm out. Yeah. Still working on the challenge, but it's been a challenge because of doing so much. And this house is almost done framed. And then they're going to wrap it. And then I can finish the challenge where you guys can sign up. And I'm going to take everything that I've learned and pack it in 30 days, $1 a day. My Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic. My Facebook fan page is Stephanie the Business Person. And I'm out because now I gotta edit this damn video. Peace.
That's a long point too. Yeah. This is hard. All this is in the way. This 2x4. We can't just take it out. It's what's holding the ridge up.